Hello and welcome to the Boardroom Company Live. This is the podcast for professionals who want to build a corporate board career. Actually, I say corporate boards, but a lot of people are building on different types of boards, advisory boards, even nonprofit boards for some of those who are a little bit earlier on in their career. Now, today, what I'm going to be talking about is what are the three things that you should remove, the three words, the three phrases that you do not want on your board bio or your board resume. I see these all the time. They sound very junior level. They sound like they've been created with AI, so you haven't taken the time to really explore who you are and write it down. So let's get into it. The first one is seasoned executive. Seasoned executive. Naomi Ken is a seasoned executive. Now, a couple of things about this is that it just sounds odd, seasoned executive. What have you been around the block? It kind of sounds like, right? And then the second thing is if you're at the level of a board role, or you're in your 40s or your 50s or your 60s or your 70s, it's going to be pretty obvious with the amount of time that you've spent working, that you've been around. Your title is going to tell the other person that you've had experience. So it sort of seems redundant. It seems like you're almost trying a little bit too hard to prove something. So what do I think you should do instead? Well, actually just remove it. So-and-so is an executive. So-and-so is a technology executive. So-and-so is a marketing executive. And by the way, these go for regular resumes too. I'm obviously more focused on board bios and board resumes, but I think they should be removed from any documents. Okay, number two, what else should you remove from board bios and board resumes? Is known for. So Joe is known for, his ability to lead, or Naomi is known for her charismatic, whatever. Let's be honest, who's actually known for anything, right? We know some celebrities out there, and we know who the people are in Hollywood and what they're known for. But even then, I don't think some of them are all known for the same thing if you were to ask two people. So it sounds a little bit self-serving. And I say to people, although your bio and your resume are written in the third person, you actually want to think, I'm actually writing this myself. Everyone knows you've written your document yourself, or at least you've approved it, right? Someone may have written it for you, but you have approved the language. So using this over-the-top language, it just doesn't come across very well, and especially in a boardroom environment. So you don't have to include what you're known for. You can include what you enjoy, what you value, what you have had an award for. I love that, right? If you actually received an award. So think about that. So seasoned executive, number one. Number two is somebody is known for. And then the third one is something that, again, AI and a lot of tools and some writers, they just put a lot of adjectives in for no reason. So the third one is, person's name is a strong decision maker, or is a good, decision maker. Somebody who has got to the C level, you should really have been made some decisions at this point. Probably some of them were good, right? We don't all make great decisions all the time, but I hope some of them were good. So it almost sounds, again, a little desperate, like you're trying too hard to prove something. My advice would be actually describe the situation that you were in, right? So was it an M&A transaction that obviously you actually backed out of, right? Was it talent acquisition? Was it a CEO succession? These are all big decisions that need to be made for businesses that help them, move forward. And so definitely have a think about what are some of the, and this is just strong decision maker. It just sounds obvious. I would encourage you all to take a look at your documents and just have a look. is there anything in here that sort of sounds pretty obvious based on my title, based on my experience, and based on who I am? So those are three things. There's probably plenty others, but just sharing those three with you today. Have a look at your documents, see if you've written any of these. If you need help, let me know. I write bios, I write resumes, I help with LinkedIn profiles as well. Those are actually critical. I'll make a quick shout out. This was not planned, but certainly LinkedIn is where most people are going to see your profile. So taking the time and effort to really just look there as well is really critical, really important. So I am going to leave you there. Thank you so much for listening in to the Boardroom Company Live, and we'll be back again soon. Thank you.